Hello, and welcome to Yoga with UglyHorse, the online edition. So, posting about one YouTube video a month. So, this will be June's edition. I hope you've been having a wonderful June, nice start to those warmer seasons, your days, hopefully. Otherwise, making sure that you have everything that you need, maybe a bolster or a pillow, a blanket, a strap, or just maybe the wrap around from your robe, a towel, all will be handy. Dog is optional. This is Socrates. He is a big booby and a big suck, and he just likes to be the center of the world. So go ahead and gather everything that you need. Maybe grab some water or use some tea, and meet me on the mat. Socrates, you're being good. Thank you, sir. You're right front and center. All right, so let's go ahead and just start by finding a comfortable seat. And again, if you have a bolster or a block or even that blanket, and you feel like propping yourself up a little bit today, that also is an option. Otherwise, just come into a comfortable seat, cross-legged, one leg or the other, it doesn't really matter. We're gonna let those hands just rest gently onto the laps. Start to humble through that chin, maybe closing the eyes. Allow the shoulders to melt away from the ears. So we slowly start to settle into our mat, into the practice. Sits bone is becoming a little heavier as they connect a little deeper again with that mat. Maybe starting to lengthen the breath. And exhale. Taking that inhale. And release. Awesome. Let's do one more. Inhale. And exhale. Go ahead and drop that chin down towards the chest. Keep the eyes still closed here. No need to worry about opening those up. And we're just going to slowly roll one way and then the other. Just little half rolls, allowing that ear to come towards the shoulder on one side, then on the next. Nice slow movements, control. Maybe let's start to make those circles a little bigger as we bring the knees towards the ceiling. Bring the head all the way back. Look around. Do one more nice big circle this way. Then we're going to go ahead and just switch to the other side. Doing two circles that way as well. Nice big circles here with the neck, with the head. One more. Allowing that gaze to come back through to the neutral. Maybe eyes are still closed here. Shoulders relaxed. Maybe we're sitting up a little bit taller. Let's inhale to grow. Maybe bringing that right hand just outside of the right hip, left hand to that thigh. Let's grow taller. Exhale, nice gentle twist here. Again, we're not really trying to get that gaze behind us. We're just looking aside, maybe just beyond the corner of our mat. Taking one more here. Using that inhale, let's come back through to center. Grow nice and tall. And let's go ahead and start to twist to the other side. Same thing here, left hand off to the side from that hip, right hand on that left thigh. Again, we're not trying to bring that gaze behind us. We're just maybe looking off to the side. Coming back through to that center. Let's go ahead and grow tall. Exhale, starting to fold. If you're lucky you got a puppy in front of you, you can use has a little cushion, a little support. Otherwise a block or a bolster will be just fine. Taking one more here. Nice slow roll out. And that gaze low until we come all the way up. Let's go ahead and come into a nice deer, and I apologize, the dog is blocking the view there. I've tried to ask him to move politely, but again, he thinks his mat belongs to him. I don't mind to argue. So let's bring the left leg forward first, and we're gonna, just like you were coming into that pigeon or into a stack parallel, we're gonna run that shin parallel to the top of the mat, knee to the edge. We've got that thigh running down the side. For the right leg, I've got that thigh running parallel to the top, and I've got that shin, that calf running parallel to the side. We can always take this a little bit easier just by bringing those heels in a touch towards the body. So taking a nice deer position here, regardless of where we've got those legs and those feet, allowing those sits bones to connect with our mat. Let's curve a little tall through that back body, shoulders back. And let's exhale, start to walk forward, coming into that nice fold again. Maybe you have a block or a bolster. I've got a nice big dog. And taking a nice big breath here. And maybe just a couple more. Beauty will slowly come out of that deer. Coming up into that seated deer, and let's bring that right leg back around, coming into that stacked parallel. Now again, we might need a little support here, especially if the hips and the are a little bit tight today. So we can always add our props in, giving ourselves that extra support between the knee and the foot. We can also, pardon me, Gracer, make this a little bit more user-friendly, beginner-friendly. I can't really straighten my bottom leg, but you would straighten the bottom leg just because I don't want to disturb him. Or the other option is to come back into what would be that cross-legged position and then just heel toe those legs out so that they're in a more parallel position to what the top of the mat would be. So we've got the knees running to the edge. So just taking your position there. And again, don't be afraid to use those props. That's what they're there for. Let's go ahead, grow a little tall, and then we're just going to come into a nice 45 and stop there. And be careful because this might create a little bit of sensation through the knees. So we just want to make sure that we're not doing too much there. Of course, if you've got no space between that knee and that foot, you can come all the way down. I've been sitting at a drawing horse for the last couple of weeks for a few hours a day, sometimes longer, so are pretty tight lately, especially those ITs. Beauty, let's go ahead, slowly come on out. We're going to take a nice, what I like to call stoking the fire, so especially after that stack fire look. I'm just going to go ahead and bring the feet to either hip distance or a little bit wider, legs running relatively parallel, forearms around my shins, tucking chin toward the chest, rolling through that back body, and breathe. Last one. Let's do a couple windshield wipers just to kind of flush that out from the one side. Just bringing the hands back behind the hips, dropping legs over to the right. Legs. Inhale to bring them back up. And exhale, other side. Inhale, let's bring those legs back up. And exhale, back over to the right. And of course, one more time to the left. Beauty, inhale back up. So we're going to go ahead and take that deer on the other side. So this time it's the right leg running along the top, left leg running towards the back there. And again, feel free to kind of adjust so that you're relatively comfortable. Those sits bones are connected with the mat. You're going to be creating some sensation through this area here up until we create that fold. It will also create compression through this front one over here. So again, parallel, 90-90, or bringing those heels in a little closer. Inhale to grow. Exhale, we're going to start to fold. Again, using that block or your pillow, bolster. If you've got a big, beautiful dog that loves to do yoga with you too, that works. Slow release. Sorry, sir. Are you hearing stuff? It's coming back up into that seat. We're going to go ahead and swing this leg around, coming into that stacked fire log. So again, same thing as last time, option to make it a little more user-friendly, straightening through that bottom leg, creating a more level 1 position, or beginner position, pardon me. Or again, you can come into that cross leg. This time the left leg would be in front, and heel toeing until the legs come into that more parallel position. And again, you can also just use your bolster or your pillow. Maybe you've got a block. Don't use your dog. Right? And again, same thing as before. Let's kind of bring some integrity back into that pose, all kidding aside. Shoulders back, growing nice and tall. Exhale into that nice 45, just creating a little extra sensation. And just be mindful of your body, recognizing that it may be a little different than mine. You may have different things that you need to be a little more mindful about. Maybe it's something in the hips, the back, shoulders, or your neck, numerous places. And just being aware of those sensitivities as you work through your practices. So inhale to come on up. And again, we're going to exhale. Let's go ahead and just lean back to release, coming into that nice stoking the fire. Rounding through that back body, tucking chin to chest. Beauty, let's bring that gaze up. We're going to go ahead and just start to release. Now we're going to come back into our hands and knees, so that tabletop position. I'd like to do a nice melted heart or an extended puppy, also known as, and I'm just going to back up so that I'm not, going completely into the dog. So keeping the tops of the feet down, option to curl those toes, especially if you have knee issues, just to keep them a little bit more protected and safe in this pose. Hands start out under shoulders. And again, when we come into this one, we're not starting to army crawl our way forward, bringing those hips away from the knees. We want to keep the hips and knees in a nice good alignment here. So let's exhale and start to walk it forward. Bringing the chest down. Again, hips staying in alignment with those knees so they're staying nice and tall. Shoulders away from our ears. Keeping a little integrity through the hands here, rooting from the heels of the hands, those fingertips. Palms are slightly lifted. Option to keep that gaze down, making it a little bit more beginner, user-friendly. Maybe you want to add a little movement, creating more sensation. Bringing that gaze up towards the top of your mat. If you're not at the back like me, it's okay, Socrates, you're fine, good boy. And also option for those level 3s to actively try to root that chest and chin down with either their mat, maybe a block, bolster, or pillow. Keeping that gaze running towards the top of the mat, again, if you're not at the back of the mat. In my case, it's the lovely doggo. Breathing into that area of sensation. Last one. Slowly find our way back up into that tabletop position. We're going to twist our puppy now, but let's go ahead and just shake out the hands, the wrists, releasing any pressure that may have built up in that pose. So rooting through that right hand. Inhale, let's take the left arm up. And exhale, through and under. Bringing that shoulder under shoulder, and just the gaze towards the side wall. Leave the left arm where it is for now. And relax. Again, tops of the feet can be down, toes can be curled to keep the knees a little more protected. Let's go ahead, root to rise. Inhale to come on up, rolling out back into that tabletop position. Coming into it on the other side. Inhale, the right arm swoops up. Exhale through and under. Shoulder under shoulder, bringing that right ear all the way down. Again, let's leave that left arm where it is for now. And breathe into it. Last one. Beauty, let's root to rise. Inhale, come on up. And exhale, we're going to go ahead and set that hand down. So we're going to get into a little bit of work just for those wrists and as well as we'll do the ankles and the toes. So we'll start off by the wrists. So let's go ahead and just come either to a comfortable seat. I'm just sitting on top of the shins here, tops of the feet down. We're going to do a couple of wrist rotations, but I'd like to do it while we're making fists. So we're going to go ahead and inhale, make a fist, thumbs to the outside, and exhale away. Fingers going wide. Inhale, bringing those hands, fingers in, making a nice tight fist. And exhale wide and away. Beauty, inhale, making that fist. And exhale, we're going to start making those rotations to the right, keeping those fists in. And as we inhale, we're going to come up. Exhale down and away. One more this side. And then the next. 1, 2, 3. Shaking that away. Let's go ahead and get into that ankle opener a bit. So option if you've got a couple of blocks, you can bring those to the side, just keeping the ground under you. You can also roll up a blanket or a towel, bringing it underneath of the ankles, right before where the ankle meets the top of the foot there, just to kind of create a little softening on that pressure point, because we're going to be lifting up through the legs, bringing the knees up towards the chest. So again, option to keep those hands down. You can either support it on your mat or on blocks. Let's inhale, lift through the right, and then the left. It's TJ walking through the screen. Kitty, don't go on jump on the computer, please. Try to keep those shoulders relatively relaxed. It's up to you how deep or how far you want to take this. You can really bring and drive those legs up, especially if you've got some cushioning underneath the legs there. I am on a hardwood floor on the mat. The dogs love the blankets. Beauty, let's go ahead and slowly start to bring those legs down. We're going to bring the hands out in front. Just go ahead and step back into a nice little down dog. So bringing those hips up, shoulders away from the ears, allowing all the blood to come back into those beautiful feet. First little down dog, maybe of a practice. So please feel free to really pedal it out. Keeping the gaze towards those toes. Again, checking in with those shoulders. They do love to roll on up. And of course, breathe. Let's go ahead and come back down. We're going to get into that toe opener next. So we are sitting on the balls of the feet. Toes are curled under like so. Yes. Right. So we're bringing the sits bones onto the heels. Again, if they don't reach, just use a pillow, maybe your bolster, maybe your block, and bringing yourself down onto those heels. So first thing here, let's go ahead and just make sure that we spread out all those little toes, so that we're not just putting all the pressure on one point of those feet. Bringing hands just into the lap. And again, the body's going to want to lean forward, especially if this isn't one that we're doing very often. So try to fight that urge, keeping those shoulders, those hips, and that lovely head of yours all in one line. Relax and breathe. Beauty, last one. Awesome. Let's go ahead and come back on down. Release those toes and just play the drums by tapping the tops of the feet down on your mat mindfully. If you're in a place like me where you've got neighbors around, let's just come on down. We're going to get into some back body poses here. So coming down to a lie down position. If you need a bit of a drink, please feel free to grab that. This is where we're going to be using that strap. We're going to get into a little bit of stuff for that beautiful IT band that we've got running down the leg. And again, this one can be a bit much at times, so just being mindful of what you got. And again, make use of, if you don't have a yoga strap, you can use a tea towel, you can use a towel, you can use your robe, so many things that we can do. So coming down onto that back body, we're going to just hook the loop or tie around the balls of the feet there. And I'm going to run my left leg long, mindful of the dog there. Shoulders relax into the mat. I've got the sole of the foot up toward the ceiling here. I'm just holding here for a couple breath cycles, nice and active through that leg. So I'm getting a nice pull through that hammy. Okay. Socrates, what are you doing? Remember, you're on camera. Good, let's go ahead and exhale, start to drop that leg over towards the left side. Go as far as it'll go, again, depending on your strap or your towel or your body. Might look and feel a little different. And again, this is one for the IT band. An option to take that gaze over the opposite shoulder if it feels good. You also keep it neutral, or you can take it the same direction as that leg. Maybe I'm gonna just bring that leg up a little bit so I can let that shoulder kind of root down still into my mat. So the lower I bring my leg, the more my shoulder wants to lift. So I want to give myself that time for my body to kind of find that space so that the shoulder doesn't want to lift the lower that my leg goes. Let's take one more here. So let's bring that leg back up. Hello, DJ. And we'll switch into the other side. So again, just bringing that strap without towel around the balls of the feet. Socrates, I'm going to utilize you as a little prop here for my other leg. Right leg goes long. And again, at the start, we're just holding this leg up towards the ceiling. Nice and active while we're breathing. Thank you, buddy. Good, let's start to drop that left leg over to the right side. Again, same options as before. You don't have to go super low and work at keeping that shoulder rooted. So just where you notice that shoulder starts to lift, maybe just back off slightly, holding there. Options for that gaze neutral, same direction, so over towards the right. You can take that twist motion and bring that gaze over the opposite shoulder. Last little bit here. We will start to bring that leg back up. Start to release back down. Bend through the knees, soles of the feet down on the mat here. Just giving ourselves a little moment, allowing ourselves to feel those sensations. And maybe rolling over to the left or the right side. Finding our way back up into that lovely little bit of a seat here. And let's just come into a nice cross-legged position, and we'll do a little bit for the shoulders and a little bit for the forearms, coming back into that tabletop, and then we'll finish off with our little bit of a shavasana. So getting into some stuff for the shoulders, we're going to go ahead and take some eagle arms just from a nice seated position. Let's bring those arms, those wings out, and bring them right arm underneath of the left. Aiming to bring those palms together here. Let's bring the gaze towards the fingertips. Relax your shoulders. And inhale to just lift through those arms ever so gently. sides, bringing those wings out. This time it's left under right. Aiming to eventually bring those palms together. No race, no rush there. Relaxing through the shoulders, bringing gaze towards the fingertips. Inhale, arms come up. Beauty, last one here. Let's go ahead and release that. Just doing a couple shoulder rolls here. 1, 2, 3. Going the other way. 1, 2, 3. Beauty. Shake it on out. Jiggle, wiggle. Do what you need. Let's go ahead, come back into those hands and knees. Last one for the forearms. I'm going to come just in front of the dog here to just kind of show you right here beside. So imagine this is your mat. We're going to go ahead and just bring that elbow to the edge of your mat, running forearm down, making a nice tight fist with the hand, thumb to the outside. You're going to press the left hand into the right fist that you're making so that the top of that hand is rooted into the mat nicely. And we're just going to inhale and straighten through that right arm, just getting into those gripper muscles. Don't forget to breathe. So we're in that nice tabletop position relatively. Maybe coming on down, let's get directly into the other side. So same thing, elbow all the way down, making that fist thumb to the outside, pressing through that hand so the top of the hand stays down, and then straightening through that left arm. Bring that down. Let's go ahead and just take a nice little child's pose. Just come over here. So taking this wide-legged child's pose or that extended child's pose. So legs and knees are wide, toes are still together, and we're coming on down, bringing hands forward, closer. Couple more here. Slowly come on out, releasing that pose closer. Hello. Give you a little belly rub. Yes, there you go. So we're going to just go ahead and start to transition into that Shavasana. Nice short, slow practice here today. This little small one. So you can go ahead and find your way down either to your back body or maybe taking a forward facing corpse. If you'd like, you can also go ahead and find your way into a nice legs out the wall. You don't have a piece of wall that's available to you, just using your block or your pillow as a little prop there. Otherwise, again, just finding our way into that Shavasana, giving ourselves just a moment to let our practice sink and settle in. Closing the eyes. You can go ahead and take a nice inhale in and open the mouth, letting it go. Inhale and exhale to release. Shoulders rolling a little further down the back body, a little deeper into our mat. Body sinking into the support, your practice, your props, your pose. Allowing your breath to return to a natural rhythm. Allowing ourselves to sink into the space we've created. much time as you need here in this pose, in the Shavasana, in this rest. I would like to take this time for thanking you for coming and playing with me today and moving your body. And I hope that you enjoyed the practice. If you did, please feel free to like the video, add a comment, tell me something that you would like to see or do next time for the next video. Socrates, you're cutting it off. All they're seeing is your butt. Yeah, that's all they're seeing is your butt. Starting to deepen that breath if you come on out. And we'll go ahead and close the 3 breath cycles together. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And release. Inhale. And exhale. I hope you have a wonderful day, evening, whatever time it may be for you, and enjoy the rest of your summer. Have a good one. Stay playful and open.